Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to our Wednesday Hangout with Mentors. Do we have feedback?
I'll turn it down a little. I'm hearing you pretty good though, Susan, loud and clear. You hear
Okay.
me okay?
Yeah, actually, I hear you great.
Okay. And I got
Okay.
another call coming in. Geez, another sale possibly. I'm sorry. I might have to turn this phone off, guys.
So let's start again. Welcome to Hangout with Mentors. I'm Susan Batchelder, and I'm with my unstoppable partner, Tammy Montgomery.
Hey,
We
Susan.
host the hey. We host these live. I got some background noise here. Can you hear Samuel?
Yeah.
Okay, he's talking on the phone. Jessica, would you mind telling him I'm live, please? Thank you. Please. Can you tell Samuel I'm live now? I'm recording this. Hey, but we work from home, so life happens.
Right. Hey, sometimes kids come in with coffee, the whole 9 yards, right, Susan? This is what it's
That's
all
right.
about.
Yeah. And then she's going to yell at him to tell him that, maybe. Anyway, so every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we come to you live, and this is public. So the purpose of this is we want to share a bit more about us, our value, what we're doing in the Unstoppable Network. We want to help our members and our inner circle share value with them so they can learn and step up with us, and also give them value to share with their prospects. So literally everybody's invited to this. We invite our people that are interested and our prospects, and all of our little community, which is rapidly growing, invites their prospects. So we're all growing and learning and stepping up together. Sometimes we bring out guests, and we always have a different topic. Kind of interesting, and we didn't really plan this to fall in place, but isn't it interesting how the topics fell, Tammy? Because last week on the Wednesday night Hangout with Mentors, we talked about the essentials of lead generation. And
Yes.
then yesterday on our blab, we talked about stepping back and just taking a 10,000-foot view on your business or your life, and just having a look at what's working and what's not, and just stepping back and have a look. Tonight, we're going to talk about the hook. We're going to talk about the importance of the hook to bringing people in and making sales. So it's really flowing. And I guess that just shows that that's literally how we think. We think forward motion, forward, make sure that the flow is going. So it just comes naturally.
Yes. It really does. It comes supernatural. Yeah. And it really does help people.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was just going to say, if anybody wants those past, everything is always recorded and shared. So just get back with the person that invited you, and if it's either Tammy or myself, we'll share those links with you, and they might even actually be on the page if you're watching this as a recording.
Yes.
We do almost everything, especially all of our videos, on purpose. And they're almost always like evergreen content that you can use today, tomorrow, next year. And we talk about what's working now. So
Exactly.
that's what on purpose means, in case you're wondering.
When I first heard that term, I was like, on purpose? Well, yeah, of course. No. but no, it really is a deep meaning, though, when you think about it. I mean, it's a pretty deep meaning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really is.
I could go on and on about it, but I promise I won't.
I'd like to hear it sometime. I would.
It's true. And sometimes we do, and I know some people do, kind of just trip along and accidentally go through life, and so it just simply means putting thought into and some plan into everything that you're doing, including creating an excellent magnetic hook that will bring people and the right people into your business.
Exactly. So are you going to go first, or am I going to go first about giving our little ditty about ourselves?
I think you should go first, because, yeah, I like that better.
You do? Okay.
Well, I don't want to go at all.
It's so powerful, though. Your story is so powerful. And listen, We were just discussing before we went live how long we've known each other and how long we have been putting it out there to have this kind of a synergy, partnership relationship. And so it's been she reminded me it's about a year and a half now. So when we first met on a Hangout, and it's been incredible. My background, of course, is not digital marketing or anything like this. My background is mortgage, real estate consultant. I have a nice little plaque on the wall saying I'm a financial consultant, okay, for business financing, personal financing. And then when the 2008 crash, that's where I'm going to start, Susan, is kind of from there. I've been self-employed for 26 years. Some people know that about me, some people don't. It's pretty much what I've known all my life is commission, direct sales. My husband got me hooked when I was like 20 to become self-employed. He says, you know what, you absolutely don't have to work in a factory if you don't want to. And I just looked at him like he had was talking to me like foreign. Like, are you serious? I said to him, I said, you mean I don't have to slave it out in this factory? Because we were raised blue collar all our lives, both him and I. So when I heard that, it was like music to my ears. I'm a very adventurous person by nature, and I'm very spontaneous. And even Susan knows that about me. So the thing is like when you want to work for yourself, you just don't know what direction to head in. So we're going to be specifically talking about hooks and things like that tonight, but I just like people to get to know me a little bit better. Susan's the one that told me you got to tell your story because it's quite amazing. And of course, throughout the whole marketing, I've tried to share it a little bit, but Susan, you've helped me really nail it down and just feel comfortable about sharing my story. I went through some horrific times. Of course, a lot of people, when they're self-employed, they think it's going to be just all awesome and, with trends and things like that. It has not always been awesome. But let me tell you, the internet has changed so much for me. I've been able to, plug into existing systems. I'm not a techie person. I'm a very simple person. So I had to look for something really, really simple because I just don't know how to set up websites or anything like that. So when I came online, I found webinar systems, marketing. I've always had a passion for marketing. Marketing, I think, is kind of in my blood because I've always done it for every single business, no matter whether it was a restaurant or whether it was our mortgage broker company. So I love marketing. Marketing is a passion, and I love helping people. So what a great combination, to have marketing, helping people. And just got off the phone. Welcome, Steven. He's our newest Unstoppable network member. And it's just fun to be able to hear that in the voice, like, wow, I finally found something. I finally found a home. That's basically what they tell us, Susan. Every time we get a new member, a new person joining us, they're so super excited to be able to belong to a community like this. Why are people joining us? Why are they coming at us every direction? It's because we have a lot to offer. We do the training, we do the teaching, we do the coaching, okay? A lot of times people will be afraid of moving forward because they don't have people, mentors or whatever there alongside them to assist them. So Susan and I have that. We pretty much decided when we met and when we formed this, this, what do you want to call it? Like basically, it is what it is. It's like literally it just all of a sudden, boom, it blew up and it came about. But I'm just saying,
it as a bond. We formed a bond.
Exactly. Yeah, we had so much in common, and just started saying, this is what I want to do. This is my vision, and I said, and then this is my vision, and then we just had a lot in common, and that's how it all happened. And I think the reason why is because of your story. Like, I heard your story. I told you my story. I think it was March of last year.
I think it was March.
I was like, wow, that's amazing what you've been through. You're an incredible, incredible, strong person. So I think that's kind of where it started. So now you get to tell your story because I led into it. Because I have to hear the story. We have to hear. Did I tell you enough about my story? But
yes.
Okay, good.
And
you're so on stage.
It's so true. You do really love helping people, and you're so good at it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
passionate about it, and so are you. You're excellent at helping people.
Yeah, and I really love it. I do, and it's not for any return. You just do it because you want to. You want to see them have results, and it truly is from the heart. And
I think that's one of the things, I just have to say this before you start your story. That was one of the things that literally I was like enamored by, because when we did meet, well, we met on the Hangout, but then we had somehow, what was it, through like inboxes and things like that on Facebook. But you were like so open, like, Tammy, just come and tell your story, or whoever, come and tell your story. And I'm like, but there's no monetary gain. Susan has no monetary gain. So that's the kind of person you are. That's your character. It showed me a lot about your character back then. So I'm trying to paint the picture in people's minds tonight that you're very open to helping.
Thank you. And
you're welcome.
That is true. I would much rather help someone tell their story really well than tell any of my story. But somehow, and I had to push myself to start telling pieces of my story, because I thought to myself, okay, how do I reach those people then? How do they know me and trust me if I don't tell my story? So take that golden nugget. If you take anything from me tonight, take that golden nugget. You have to expose yourself. You have to, in vulnerability, with courage, you have to share who you are and what you're passionate about, so people can see you, like truly see who you are, and then they will come into your world. So just like what Tammy explained, what happened with her, I wanted people to know who Tammy was, because I had a glimpse, and I do have that ability, like I see more of people, but I wanted people to know, like, this lady's amazing. People need to know. So I asked her if she would come on a Hangout that I host, and if I could help her tell her story. And so to me, it just seemed natural. But she was just like, "Whoa, you crazy girl! Like, what are you doing? What are you doing this for?"
I was really, really scared, for one, because then I'd never really shared my story. So.
And you did really well, and you just keep telling it like so much more naturally and organically, and it just comes out so much more natural from different, and you practice, you try different angles, and so people get to know all different sides and all different facets of who is Tammy. And that's what we need to do. That's exactly what we need to do. You become a master at telling a story, and that is when you become a master in whatever you're doing in your business. You have to be a great storyteller. I like telling stories about other people.
You're dancing around it.
I can dance around it and just completely avoid it. But
you sure you don't want to be a politician?
Yeah, I wouldn't be a very good politician. They like to talk about themselves, those people.
They do. They do like to talk about themselves.
and really hype it up too. Wait, what are you talking about? That's so not real. Just call it like it is. So I did have a thought of something else I was going to say, but probably another avoidance factor. Anyway.
It is an avoidance factor. We want to know, who is Susan? What makes Susan tick?
What makes Susan tick? Mm-hmm. Helping people.
Helping people. Exactly.
It's really that simple.
I knew that right away when I met you. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah. So, well, I'm a single mom of 2 teenagers, 16 and 19, a boy and a girl. I was, before I came into this little cool digital world, I was a critical care registered nurse for 15 years. And I really liked it. I loved my career. And then in 2005, I was in a car accident, and the accident itself really wasn't that bad, but just the way we were hit on an angle from behind, and I was kind of slouched down. So it was a twisting, shearing injury at the top of my neck, base of my head. And it left me with ligament damage right in the top 2 vertebrae and some permanent nerve damage. So it took me quite a few years to figure out, first of all, exactly what the injury was. Doctors and doctors, like nobody could really figure out exactly, because MRIs, you can't see inside those 2 bones. You can't picture the ligaments. So it took multiple tests and treatments and all sorts of things to really figure it out. And then when the permanence of it set in, it was almost like as if it was another trauma to
Mhm.
realize, because until that time you just keep on thinking, well, it'll get better, it'll get better, just look for tomorrow. And then when I at that moment anyway, when I found out the permanence of it, and there's nothing we can do for you, so they just kept on telling me, well, this is what it is, there's nothing we can do for you, then I felt like it was all over again. And that was it. This is it. Like, what? This is it. I can't walk half a block. I'm mostly in bed. This is it, really. um yeah, and so I was just always a really active person, and to be told that you can move your arms, but just not much. Like, well, then why can I move them? You know what I mean? Like, there was just so many questions.
Sure.
And so that taught me a lot, and I've taken a lot from that experience, and I still do. Like, sometimes I'll have a moment where I'll think I can pull this from that and help people through this in their business and marketing. They're feeling stuck. Believe me, I can help you get unstuck.
Oh yeah, you can.
Like, I was stuck in a very that time took me to a really very stuck dark place, that when you claw yourself out of a stuck dark place like that, you figure out some tips and tricks and strategies, all sorts of stuff. So
Yes.
then, just out of necessity, so we actually kind of came up with a lingo. Speaking of hooks, we can once I finish this time, we can even use that for an example, how we came up with that one kind of lead in headline of ours. So kind of similar experience. Tammy went through a market crash, and I went through a car crash, and it took us both to a different place, and we came out from that place to here, and here we are together. So despite market crashes and car crashes, so you're listening to two people that are determined, and can show you how we pulled ourselves out of that. So that's kind
Exactly.
of the guts and the courage that I bring to the table. I love what I do, and ironically, it's what I absolutely didn't want to do when I came online. Being on video, being engaging in social media and content marketing, just sharing all sorts of that kind of stuff. I kind of wanted to be quiet in the background. So, yeah. Did I miss anything?
No, I'm always like yeah, I get in the zone listening to you, so I have to wake up. Okay, you're done. I just like hearing your
I have a
story.
tendency to just all of a sudden abruptly stop too, with no ending.
I do that too. Like I said, it's not
Like,
easy talking about
okay,
ourselves.
I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I can tell you that unequivocally, like when you say that you get people unstuck, that's absolutely the truth. Like there's no doubt in my mind that you have that ability, and it's a gift. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift to get people unstuck, or get people to get the point past the point of, or I should say, trusting themselves again. Is that a good word for it?
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
you get them to trust themselves again, and I think I do the same thing. I have the ability to tell them, listen, if you and I can do this, and we've been through the crashes, we've been through, hey, having to live in my parents' house for God's sakes, and in this decade, I mean, so like literally not in this decade, but I'm saying the other decade, but I'm saying like literally, if we can do it, then I know others can do it. See what I'm saying? Like you just take baby steps. And how do you eat an elephant? You don't eat an elephant whole, you take it bit by bit. So what we do, and what we feel that we can bring to the table and help people change their lives, we've changed so many lives. We have a goal together now of 100. I think we might have to bump it up because we're getting people piling in here, right? But I'm saying that's what we have, is we have the vision of creating 100 six-figure earners, member to member programs, and through marketing, and showing people that this is very simple once you get the 3 steps down the pat, down pat, your story. And like I said, I could listen to it over and over again. It's never going to get old to me. I just think that people need to know, though, that, we weren't born with a Donald Trump as an uncle, or, see, we didn't have the nepotism going for us. I mean, like I said, it's blue collar workers. I was in my town, and it's a grape town. So they're always doing wine and stuff like that around me. And I'm like, what the heck am I going to do? I'm not going to make good money around here. So I turned to the internet. So, but yeah, what got me into this industry was a hook. I would see these people and I would be like, wow, I want to live that lifestyle. I'd see them on magazines. I'd see them on, wherever, right? And say, I want that lifestyle. So it's so cool, your thought process. And then now we're living it. I mean, fast forward, right? Now you and I have this amazing business that has made us amazing this month. Last month was phenomenal. This month will be double. So I look at it like, it's once you get the momentum in anything, it doesn't matter whether it's online marketing or making money online, if it's health and health. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. You just got to keep the momentum. So hook, what do you think we should start out with hook? What do you want to explain about the hook?
I guess start out with just simply saying that, and I guess I kind of addressed it, and I don't remember even where I posted that today. I think in maybe on the page, but anyway, with our digital kind of world that we're in, like there's so much stuff coming at everything, right? And before, it always used to only be there's commercials on the radio that you would hear, and commercials, and then late night infomercials on TV. And then if people were reading the newspaper or whatever, then you'd see ads, and then there's billboards, but that was it. Now, everything that you look at has some sort of advertisement, some sort of communication, some sort of content. It's everywhere, right? And so it's like, if you liken it to a busy New York street, for example, even just you're walking on foot down the New York street, the sidewalks are packed, right? And so you have to stand out. You have to be the one wearing the red jacket and the red shoes with the furry bonnet. You have to stand out and grab somebody's attention. And what will pull them in is something that they either need, something that will be the answer to what they're looking for, something that will make things easier for them. It has to be something that they immediately know, yes, this will help. And so when you join us, we as an entire group have a really powerful hook that you can show people, tell people it from different angles, but the hook itself is incredibly powerful because of that reason. So it's something that is the answer to most people's struggles, challenges, maybe even fears. Is that a good way to lead into it?
Yes, that's awesome.
Because our hook is really powerful.
Very good way.
And we just made it even better recently. So I'll let you explain what that hook is, and then that it'll just feed into a good example for them. I mean, there's lots of ideas of hook, but if we give a concrete example for you guys to understand the power of it, and then our members that are already in, maybe this will help encourage them to use the hook because it is so good.
Exactly.
I always have an
alternative. And I hope we're on the same page. You have an alternative. Yeah, you usually do have an alternative. Yeah, you do. And like, I'm trying to read your mind, like right now. No.
Oh yeah. Woo! You're stepping on bombshells there.
My hook. This is the thing with marketing. My hook is simplistic. Number one, you got to make it simple for people. right?
Bold,
So there's two things.
They can't question it. And
Bold, simple.
like having a callback,
Exactly.
like a callback option as a hook is just like.
Yep. It's 90% of the reason why people join, because of the callback. And let me tell you, I've put in a lot of people. This will make, I don't know, Susan, we're going to have to add up we're going to have to start keeping track. I don't even have the sheet open, but you know, we're going to have to like,
we're so busy that we can't keep track. So
yeah,
people have to wait until we do some outsourcing, and then we'll have time to keep track. Or we can outsource somebody to keep track.
Exactly. No, I'll always keep track. No.
You know those cartoons where the head like just spins off and rolls down the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that. I think it's like 350 today, something like that. Anyway, that just joined just 5 minutes before. Like I said, welcome, Stephen, and your wife. And I don't know her name yet, but I'm going to get to know you. I always like to get to know people on a personal level. I like to know what their goals are, what their expectations are, things like that in their business. But what the biggest thing that people have always said to me is, number one, I want simple marketing, which we have. We have campaigns that you can plug into that they will do the marketing for you basically once you join. The biggest hook, though, and the 90% is the callback, because most of the time people do not want to call back their leads or people that are interested in their business, because either they're too busy, okay, and in a lot of circumstances that people like agents join us, like insurance brokers and things like that join us, so they don't have the time. So that's that's an example. The other thing is just simply they're a newbie, so they don't know how. I mean, and there's no other business model that I'd rather help someone with is just help them to generate some leads. Like we're generating just leads when they plug into our training, and that's phenomenal. Okay, so what Susan said is absolutely true. And then that's all you got to do is just focus on advertising. Let myself, or we just got a new team member, Joel, that's going to be helping us do all of that sifting and sorting. And I'm super excited to be working with him. Let me tell you, he's awesome. So Joel, if you're listening, thank you. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hey, you can't get any better than that, right, Susan? Is to have someone in-house, someone that you can work with, and he's phenomenal. He's been in the industry many, many years. I think he told me like 20. So longer than you and I combined. So that's great. So what we're always about is, our vision is to always, expand. So we're already expanding. So those are the two things I have down, is the done for you and then the callback.
Yeah.
Done for you marketing, because a lot of people don't know where to market.
Right. Yeah. And so that does two things, because here, like talking specific about what your hook needs to do, other than just attract them, but it needs to trigger an emotion, and that emotion needs to be powerful enough to get them to make a decision, right? And so those initial ones trigger that emotion of support, like solid support. Get rid of the fear that, well, I can't do that. Well, it's there for you. It's done for you. You have help. And then once they get in, the other hook that we're always using that is very powerful is that atmosphere, that community that we're doing as far as the network in all like overall altogether. So they're not doing it on their own. There's always support. There's like-minded people. There's ongoing, like what we're doing tonight. There's always new content, new value being created. We're helping them warm up their prospects. They're not in the business on their own. We're working right along with them. And that's our other like inside hook. And I would hope that all of our members use that. Like, we're here, use us. Use the content. In fact, TT just emailed me earlier, which one of you guys' Hangouts should I send to my list? He's got fresh leads in there, and he knows He's been listening to us. He knows that this is what we do. So he just wanted a suggestion. Which one should I send to these fresh leads? Awesome. Great. Yeah, here. So I gave him 2. And one of them was last week's lead generation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty powerful hook.
It's very powerful.
don't.
It's probably the most powerful when I think about it. Call back, yeah, that's great, but it probably trumps the callback, knowing that there's someone to assist. Because when you and I first started in our first business, I know myself, Susan. I can talk about myself for a second here. I knew that when I sent off that money, I just hoped and prayed that there was going to be some support afterwards, because I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, you know, like I said, everybody starts from somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. But the other the company had the trainings and things like that. We have Saturday calls, open calls, like Q&A. So that's got on a webinar, and I had to type in my questions as the guy talked. I mean, and sometimes he didn't even call on me. So I couldn't even get my questions answered. See what I'm saying? And then when I emailed him, he says, oh, well, that's a good question for next week. So I had to wait a whole week in order to get to the next training. So I'm just saying what we have here is priceless. And people have said it to us before too, Susan. They said, wow, you can get on a live call and talk to 6-figure earners. You can't get any better than that. Mm-hmm. So that's a huge hook right there.
And in our closed secret Facebook groups, we're readily in there. Sometimes we surprise them how fast we answer the questions.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We just got it all, like we said in Pittsburgh. Remember that video we did together?
That one, unstoppable money.
I can't believe I got tongue twisted on the word money. I was trying to say mama, and then it turned into money.
Yeah, I think you were trying to decide if you should say money or mamas, and then you couldn't say either.
That was funny.
Unstoppable mama's making money. Say that 3 times.
Yeah. Oh man, that was crazy. That was fun. We gotta do that again.
Yeah. That gave me an idea just now for a video. Unstoppable mama's making money.
There you go. We'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, those are really the points and the benefits. It's almost like a benefit, you know, of joining a home-based business, so you don't feel like you're on your own. And people will say, you know, what is it? Well, the basic bottom line is they just want to know lead generation, which we are experts at. So that's the bottom line is, you know, you can plug right in, like I said, to existing campaigns. I outsource quite a bit. Craigslist ads are awesome. My gosh, the email marketing that we do, amazing. I just got off of a phone call. It's going to be another resource for the team a couple hours ago. So, you know, you've heard of obviously bulk emailing. Well, I got my contact reconnected with me this afternoon. So, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I like bulk emailing. That's where I got my start.
Exactly. Well, then I got some good news for you then. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yes.
So, do you think we explained it?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Like, yep, absolutely. Well, and we can relate it to like big companies. Like, in other words, of course, you know, you got the giants out there, corporations that know really how to get you hooked in, right? Like McDonald's has a certain smell of the fries, and it drives me absolutely bonkers because I haven't had one for like 9 months now. But, well, actually, no, even before my diet, I didn't have a fry. But anyway, you know, they'll hook you in, right? Or they'll hook you in with a coffee that's for $1 or whatever. And then you got to sit down, you got to smell those fries, right?
Right.
So everybody, all corporations think about it on a day-to-day basis. They have hooks. And like Susan said at the beginning, is you have to reel them in. You know, here I go again. I'm not sure whether to talk to you or talk to the audience. I still haven't got that down pat.
It's like doing the tango. Some of this, some of that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think we did, like I said, it's already there too. That's the cool part about it, is once they plug in and they come to the calls and things like that, we talk about, okay, how you get your everything set up, plugged in, simplistic. Here's the ads, you know, here's where to go. Boom. Traffic,
Yeah.
lead flow, money.
Yeah. So, and just to give you an idea of where to use your hook, once you realize what the hook is, once you find the hook, you use it everywhere. So every time you talk about what you're doing, about introducing someone to your business, even if it's a second or third conversation, you always refer back, always pull it back to that hook. So you use it in all your advertising, all your conversations. You just always refer back to that. You're excited because they're going to get excited.
Exactly. Yeah, every time I'm, you know, plugged in and working and getting leads and things like that, I'm always like, hey, you want the right? Simple.
Yep.
I still use it,
Absolutely.
you know, because how I do things. Why not? Why not work smart and not hard, right?
Exactly. Gail
So
says she's
that's,
listening.
yeah.
Any questions? Gail, do you have any questions? I'm going to call you.
Oh yeah. Do we have questions on here? Can we on this chat?
We don't. I don't have a chat on the page that they're watching, so
Oh,
that's
okay,
why I'm
no
asking them on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, you're asking them on Facebook? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really want to push hard of the callback system, the callback in-house. Honestly, if someone starts asking you about the business, obviously you tell them to watch the webinar. This is if you're, you know, on Facebook, let's say, for example, or something like that, which I don't teach. Susan doesn't teach. We teach how to drive targeted traffic to your capture pages, okay? Again, simple. We want to keep this simple, people. Simple sells. I've signed up so many people because of simple. You can obviously advertise a phone number if you want. You can do a sizzle message. That's actually what Joel's doing in Michigan. So there's top marketers that just always have taught and that are on our team to keep things simple. So the more simplistic you can keep for people, that's a hook right there. Like I said, callback team, who wants to make all these phone calls when you're working a full-time job? Not many people that I know of. And that's always been a what do you want to call it? A deal killer, a deal stopper for most people, because they want that extra income stream, but yeah, they don't have time to call their prospects back. So it's always the third party, they call it a third party edification, that totally works. It's much more powerful than anything in the universe, is to have someone else talking about you and how awesome you are.
Yeah, exactly. And so either time or they're afraid to close the sale.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Susan. Yes, they're either afraid to do it, or they don't think they'll do it, or they think they'll mess up the call, or I mean, I used to think that. Oh my gosh, I didn't have a callback system when I first got in my top tier. I've been working with them.
To ask for the sale.
Yeah, they don't know how to ask for the sale.
Yeah. And that was one of my big things to get past. So you're having a great conversation and they're thinking about it, but you know, they're on the fence, and then you just gotta ask for the sale.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's real simple. In fact, right now, if you're listening and you want to get started, get back to the person that invited you to the webinar. If it was either Susan or myself that invited you, then you get back to us and you get started. Yep. Because it's January. I mean, and it's a simple fact that people are getting their tax returns. Let me just show you guys a real quick example of sheets that I have here. Okay, tax return time. And I haven't even had time. Last night I was up until like 1 trying to get this organized so I can put it on a Evernote list for Susan. But it's tax time, which means everybody, if they're not in now, they should be in, because tax time means money time. It's just like September. This is going to be like September time when everybody wants to start making money when the kids go back to school. It's the same thing. I've been in this industry for long enough to know that there's cycles. So January a little bit in the first part of January, slow. Then you got mid-January starts picking up. It's the 20th. And now people are going to start getting their W-2s. And now they're going to be filing for their taxes. And then February, March, April, May, June. And then July, August, you can take a little bit of a break. And then again, you know what I'm saying? So it's like totally, that in my opinion is a hook. Tax time. When I tell people and I'm talking to them on the phone, you got to get in because it's tax time. Everybody gets their income taxes. And what better way to improve their life but to start a home-based business and another cash flow? You know what I'm saying?
So make a decision right now and get back with the person that invited you. And if you need to find out more, then do it. Find out more.
Yeah, there's no time to wait.
No. There's a whole lot of money on the other side, starting from $2,000 all the way up to $22,000. What you waiting for?
Exactly.
There.
Awesome. I love it.
Well, so should we close out a nice
that was a
45
perfect
minutes?
ending right there, what you just said.
Great. That's a great length for everybody to rewatch.
Sure is. Very value packed. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for being unstoppable.
Thank you right back. To all of you watching, you know what to do.
Yep, absolutely. Be unstoppable.
That's right. And we'll see you in the next video.